Hello, and welcome to the Patience to Prosperity podcast, where we learn how to act in opposition of our limiting beliefs in order to reach our fullest potential. Hey guys, it's Lizzie, and just like last week's episode where I sat on the mic and I told you guys that it was really coming off the heart, it was really intuitive, and I just felt this drive to sit down and talk to you guys. Today I'm taking that same approach. I just have this kind of burning fire inside of me right now to sit down and talk to you guys on this mic. So I started off trying to bullet point some things I want to talk about today, and I honestly just really want to sit on here and be so transparent with you and see what comes out. Because I really do think that my best episodes come from me taking the most intuitive approach that I possibly can. And in some ways, that can make me feel flustered in life. It can make me feel out of control when I'm only relying on my intuition to help guide me through things. And that's been something that's been a really hard challenge, to kind of find this balance between spontaneity and trusting my intuition, but then also finding this structure in my life and, knowing when to listen to that structured part of me that is telling me I need to do things at a specific time on a specific day, or just letting my intuition allow me to branch out and seek opportunities that weren't already planned out before. And if that's something that you're struggling with, I would advise you to go back to the first episode of this season, season 4, where it's titled Finding Balance Between Work and Play, Spontaneity versus Planning Mindset. I think that episode really hits on all of the things that I just talked about while opening this episode up. But right now, I kind of want to talk about this weird transition point that we get to in our healing journeys. If you're a spiritual person or not, if you're religious or not, whatever you believe in, if you are someone who is simply on a journey right now to feel their best, to heal their most, to grow the absolute most that you've ever shown yourself you're capable of in your life, then it is inevitable to reach these points in your journey where you feel sort of stuck, where you feel like there's not necessarily anything going super wrong, but there's also not anything moving drastically in the right direction. You feel like sometimes you go through these periods where you get a lot of signs, right? Maybe if you are more of a spiritual person, or you're just really tuned in with your surroundings and you like to take signs from whatever higher power you believe in, then maybe you've been seeing a lot of angel numbers. You've been seeing so many different signs outside from whatever things you take notice to, but then you get stuck in this place where it seems like you're seeing less and less signs. You're not as tuned in. You don't feel that aligned. You're not really sure where you are right now. You don't know what the next step is. And that is somewhere that I think everyone actually goes through, but no one really talks about it in our healing journeys. We hear people on the internet all the time talking about healing and growth, but no one actually tells you that growth can sometimes feel like loss. And I just posted a TikTok on this actually, where I said that the reason why growth feels like loss sometimes is because in order to grow, you are shedding some of the parts of you that no longer serve you. You are shedding versions of you that you no longer align with, that you no longer even want to associate yourself with and identify with, because you are destined for something greater than that, and you know that. So you feel like you're losing a version of yourself in the process, because you are, in a way. But you have to look at it in the sense that your past self is there as a mirror for your present self. It's there to show you what things were not working for you, what things actually do really work for you and you need to lean into more. It's there to show you that There are lessons to be learned from these past versions of yourself. They're not there so that you shame yourself into change and evolution. They're there so that you learn to reach yourself at a level of love and understanding so that then you can reach others with that same level of understanding and meet them on the levels where they're at. Through growth and healing, you are unlearning as well as learning. You are unlearning all of the thoughts, all of the beliefs, all of the actions that you once thought were vital to survive. Because for so long, we might have been living in survival mode. And that's another thing I've done an entire episode on in, I think, my earliest season. So go back to season 1 if you want to learn more about survival mode and stepping into just being alive, being present, not having to live every single day just to get through it, just to survive, just to get a little glimpse of what it's like to have peace of mind. The truth is, we are not put here to live in survival mode. We were not put here to constantly be doing and achieving. We were put here to be, period. Just to be experiencing and to be present. We have to go back to those beliefs that we have now conditioned in our minds to believe are true, to believe are the right way to think or to do things, and to truly assess if they are working for us or not, to reframe the way we're looking at things. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Your perception dictates how happy you are able to be in this life, how much peace you are able to grant to yourself. I feel like when you're a really spiritual being, or when you're just really tuned in with your surroundings, we can get to this place where it sort of feels like this psychosis, where we feel almost out of touch with reality. We feel a sense of derealization. I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, but sometimes I get so in touch with my surroundings that I sort of feel out of touch with myself. I feel like life is constantly moving at a pace that is too fast for me to keep up. Like, no matter what happens in my life right now, if someone that I love passes away, if something really horrible happens to me, or I go through these really, really drastic transition periods in my life, everything else around me is still moving. Life is still going on, and to just have to accept that sometimes, it's really, really hard. And if you are experiencing that right now, I just want to come on here and be a person for you that can hopefully put your mind at ease a little bit, that can ease some of your anxieties and make you feel like it is okay to feel this way, because it is. You're human. You're not going to feel the same way every single day. That's just what it's like to be human. We're not always going to be able to predict how we feel the next day, the second that our head hits the pillow at night. And that makes it really hard to navigate this life because everything is so unpredictable. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason. As cliche as it is, there is purpose behind absolutely every single thing in life. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything happens when and how it's supposed to. But we don't always know the reason behind why these things have to happen to us. So that can put us at this really uneasy state of being. And that can lead us to put less trust in the timing of our life, in the actions, the steps that we're taking right now to try to reach the goals we have set out for ourselves. We often double down on ourselves and question whether we're doing the right thing or not, whether we are moving fast enough or not. I just want to note that every single time that you feel like you are rushing your healing journey, that you ask yourself, am I moving fast enough? Am I doing this as quickly as possible? The truth is, we are so conditioned to want things so fast, to want things immediately. And I went through that a lot with my exercising journey. And I wanted my physical appearance to change as fast as it possibly could, which led me to go down paths of shaming myself and hating myself into a person I loved, which just then branched out into so many other problems for me that I've talked about on this podcast. And that for me was just such a pivotal point of my journey that taught me that there is absolutely no reason to rush the outcome of something that is meant to last forever, that is meant to last in your life. Nothing that is ever meant for you will need to be rushed. And I already feel like I've talked about a million things and I've only been sitting on this mic for like 10 minutes now. But that just proves, to me at least, how much I needed to sit on here and talk to you guys about these things. So thank you for giving me this space to do so, and thank you for tuning in today. Moving forward with that, when you are in this place of transition, of what we want to call quote unquote spiritual psychosis, where we're not really sure what's going to happen next, we don't really know what we're doing right now and if it's the quote unquote right thing to do. You are constantly questioning yourself. You are not trusting anything, like I said before. And in order for things to align in your life, to feel like you're on the right path, to feel like you're doing the right thing, there needs to be a level of trust and gratitude embedded in this current moment, in the present moment. You need to be able to see all of the things that you already have going for you right now. You need to be able to look at your life and already be so grateful for everything you already have. One of my good friends just opened my eyes to this quote that says, if you woke up this morning with everything that you were grateful for yesterday, what would you wake up with? Because for most people, you would wake up on the side of the road, not even with water, not even with the comfortable pajamas that you fell asleep in last night that you didn't think twice about. You would not wake up with anything because we are just so conditioned to be complacent with the things that we already have in our life. So then how are we expecting ourselves to be able to find happiness and to find gratitude in the things that we have not even been shown yet? If you cannot find gratitude for this current moment, for everything that you already have going for you, that you are looking past every single day, how do you expect yourself to be able to find the same level of gratitude for things that have not even come into your life yet? I needed to kind of talk about gratitude a little bit today because I think personally it's something that I experience so deeply within my life that I have proven to myself is such a vital part of my personal healing journey that it is only necessary for me to hop on the mic today and remind you guys just how important it is to just take 2 minutes a day and assess all of the things that you are grateful for. Even in the smallest things, even in the sense that every single day you have a coffee to look forward to, you have water to drink, and that water is helping your body and your vital organs do what it does for you every single day. Not to mention all of the things that our body does for us every single day that goes unnoticed because we are so used to it. And how much of a blessing it is for us to be used to our bodies functioning at the high level that it functions for us every single day. To have body parts that move in ways that help us achieve our goals, that help us regulate our nervous system and come back to ourselves, and actually be able to invest ourselves in the spiritual experience that we have been put out here to experience on this earth. Because we are spiritual beings that are experiencing what it's like to be human for the first time. We're not human beings experiencing a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings experiencing what it's like to be human. And that is so important to remind yourself of, because that really helps you understand just how grateful we have to be here and to be able to experience the heightened emotions that we feel in these transitional periods of our life. The fact that we are in a transitional period of our life just proves to us even more that there is something greater than what we are able to consciously understand right now that is about to come in. And that's why we feel some sort of uneasiness right now, because it's unfamiliar, because whatever is about to come in is so much bigger than what we can comprehend, that it makes us feel like we should be in fight or flight right now. We should feel some sort of uncomfortableness based on not knowing what's coming next. But like I say in every single episode pretty much at this point, and I might sound like a broken record to someone who listens to this podcast every week or has just listened to a bunch of episodes and found this one, it's uncomfortable to face it right now. It feels wrong and it feels unsettling because it's unfamiliar, not because it's not meant for you. It's just something that you have not gone through yet. It's something that you have not been shown you are capable of getting through. But understand that you have been through, you have conquered, you have accomplished, you have come out a better person from every single thing you thought you would never be able to get through. You've been through them and come out a different person, a better person, a more healed person, a more intellectual being because of that one thing that you thought you'd never be able to get through. So let that fuel you. Let that be your evidence to show you that you are capable of getting through, and not only getting through, but actually leveling the fuck up from things that you think are going to absolutely destroy you. Something that I've really been leaning into lately is presence. And I know that sounds so cliche. I know we hear it all the time. But let me just sit on here and talk about it for a second. Because when you're in this transitional period and we're asking ourselves, what should I be doing right now? Am I doing the right thing? Am I moving fast enough? All of those questions that I've already laid out for you in this episode. When those thoughts are spiraling through your head, the most success, the most growth that you will ever reach is by defaulting to the present moment. By telling yourself, okay, taking all of those spiraling thoughts, what can I actually control right now? And the one thing that you can always control, without a doubt, is how present you are being in your life, in your daily experiences. And I'm not gonna lie, this is something that I thought of based on an action that I take every single day. I was making my breakfast one morning, and I like to have a yogurt bowl pretty much every morning. That's usually my breakfast. So I've gotten into this routine now that's just what I do. It's part of my morning routine, is just making this damn yogurt bowl. I have gotten drawn so far away from the present moment while I'm making this yogurt bowl that I have failed to succumb to the gratitude that is enlisted just in the action of being able to make myself breakfast every single morning with fresh produce at my fingertips that I was able to buy at the grocery store the other day, even though I was complaining about how I had to go get groceries. Little things like that, we don't even pick up on because we become so complacent in our ways. And that was a little bit of a tangent that I didn't necessarily mean to take, but I think was necessary to take just because it really just puts into perspective for you guys how much we take for granted on the daily. So when in doubt, default to the present moment. When you are spiraling and you can't seem to slow your mind down, you can't seem to understand what your next step is, and you kind of just feel like you're losing yourself right now. You're losing a sense of who you are. You're losing a sense of reality. You feel super out of touch right now, not really aligned. The second that you choose the present moment, the second that you choose to practice being present, because presence is a practice, peace is a practice, and presence has to do with cultivating peace. The second that you default to that, you are going to get those signs back from whatever higher power you believe in that's going to tell you and give you signs. If you are willing to see them, it's going to give you signs that you are exactly right where you're meant to be. That's when that alignment's going to come in, when the universe or whatever higher power you believe in is able to see that you are opening your heart up, you are opening your eyes up, your soul up to the present moment, to receiving whatever lessons you are meant to be receiving right now in this current moment. You are not supposed to be somewhere else. If you were meant to be somewhere else, you would be there. I low-key feel like I've been screaming at you guys this episode because there's just this fire burning in me right now that really is letting my intuition take the reins. But that's why it was so important for me to really come to the mic today and tell myself, whatever I have to do today is not as important as just being present by myself right now, sitting on the mic, talking to you guys. Because honestly, podcasting is a way for me to come back to the present moment, a way for me to truly understand the things that are weighing on my heart the most right now, the things that feel the most prominent, that I might not have brought my attention to. Because when we have so many thoughts spiraling through our head every single day, sometimes it's hard to understand what is really just our anxiety, what is really our intuition, and what we really need to be focusing on the most. Because the truth about presence is that the entire reason why it works so well, why you feel so good and so aligned when you are being your most present, and why they say, oh, time flies when you're having fun or whatever. Time flies the most when you're being present. Because the purpose of presence is that obviously you're focusing on what's happening right now in front of you and absolutely nothing else around you. So, one, that helps you understand what emotions are most prominent for you right now. What thoughts are most prominent? What thoughts are coming through your head the most right now, and why they're coming through. Now you're able to open yourself up to questioning those thoughts and truly understanding, one, where they're stemming from, two, what emotion you have sticking to them, because emotions cannot exist without a story attached to them. You cannot feel a certain way without telling yourself a story to go along with it. And I think a huge thing that I have worked through lately is understanding that in order to be fully happy, you have to let go of anyone outside of yourself, any person in your life, being able to control your emotions and your feelings. Once you understand that you are the only person that can truly regulate your emotions, the only person that is truly capable of making you feel happy, making you feel really depressed, really down, you are the only person that is truly capable of making an emotion exist within you. That is when you are going to be able to give yourself peace of mind, because no one else can give you that. No one else can give you clarity on situations other than yourself. And that's not to say that I'm sitting here telling you to be a robot in this life, telling you to just shut off your emotions and that you should not feel any certain way about a situation when someone has done something to purposefully inflict pain on us. But you have to understand that someone else hurting you, that someone else shedding their most unhealed self onto you and inflicting judgment on you or whatever it might be, that has way more to do with them than it does to do with you. They are coming from an unhealed place and they don't understand what to do with their own emotions. They don't know how to regulate their own emotions, so they are inflicting them onto you. And that is not yours to carry at the end of the day. You are not put here to carry other people's pain, to carry other people's hurt inside of you. And when you feel like you do have these emotions built up inside of you and you are looking for this emotional release, but you're not really sure where it's coming from or why it's there in the first place, sometimes it's because we are holding on to other people's hurt, to other people's pain, to other people's uneasiness and their lack of peace of mind. So in order for you to give yourself that peace of mind, you have to understand that you are the only person that can grant you that feeling, that can grant you that state of being, because peace of mind is a state of being. It's not just a fleeting feeling. It's something that you are consciously choosing to practice every single day by being present. You are the curator of your own happiness, of your own peace. Every single other person in your life is just a visitor. They are just there to be a mirror for you to expose all of the unhealed versions of yourself. Every single time that someone is able to make you feel uncomfortable in your own skin, to make you feel a certain way, to heighten your emotions, that is exposing some of the unhealed versions of yourself that you need to work to heal deeper and deeper. And that's not to come off in a way that you are not good enough, that you haven't reached this place yet, because there's actually so much beauty in not being in a final destination. There's so much beauty in where you are right now, because there's so much to learn from your past. There's so much to learn from the current people that you invest your time in. There's so much to learn in the current place that you're in, even if it's not where you want to be yet. If you are not in the place where you want to be right now, it's for a reason. It's because you have not learned the lesson that you are meant to learn from this experience, from this situation, from this present moment, in order to find gratitude once you do reach that place of prosperity, once you do reach the place that you are longing to be. If you are not grateful for every single thing that you have right now, if you are not practicing being present right now, you are never going to feel that way once you have everything you've ever desired. You are never going to be happy with that. And that's why we see so many people who have so much money in this world, who have so much power in this world, who have everything that we could have ever dreamed of from the outside looking in. And we see that they're not happy. And as someone who's not famous, who's not a billionaire, we might look at that and say, oh my gosh, like, how could you not be happy? You have everything you could have ever wanted. You could just buy anything you want. So how could you not be happy? Those people are not happy in their lives because they did not find that happiness. They did not find that gratitude for the times in their life where they didn't have everything that they have now. So through practicing being present, I hope you come to this place of understanding your power, understanding how much there is at your fingertips every single day that you are able to latch onto, to grab, and to have in your power now to cultivate the life that you are not only capable of living, but deserving of desiring. Because you are allowed to desire something greater than what your life is right now. you are completely allowed to desire something greater. That's not to say that you are being ungrateful, but two things can be true at one time. You can be grateful for everything that you have right now and also desire something bigger outside of yourself. You are allowed to have dreams. Your dreams are not meant to make you feel small. They're not meant to belittle you and to make you feel ungrateful, to make you feel like you are not finding gratitude in everything you already have. You are allowed to dream big. You are put on this earth to do big things that you might not even be able to wrap your head around right now. And that's okay. But if you're someone who doesn't have huge dreams for yourself right now, then through being more present, you will understand yourself more. You will find the things that truly matter to you. You will find your passions. You will find the reasons why your hurt has affected you for so long and where all your trauma stems from. And sometimes through healing your trauma, that's where your passions flood in. So just being patient with yourself, taking it day by day, taking it second by second, everything in your life will fall into place. You will find why you were meant to be on this earth, and the more that you lean into those reasons, the more that you find purpose in this life, the more you're going to level up and radiate at a higher frequency. So that's all that I have to say for today's episode. I really, really enjoyed talking to you guys today, and I know I say that every single time because it's true. But I feel like I was really able to connect with you guys on a soul level. I was able to meet you guys where you are in your journeys based on where I am right now. And I think that's something that's so beautiful. And honestly, the main reason why I started this podcast. I want to reach people in all different levels of their healing journey, not just the people who are healed from their traumas, and not just the people who are just starting out. I want to meet you wherever you are and be able to resonate with you from whatever state of mind you are in right now. Understanding that whatever state of mind you're in, good or bad, whatever we deem as quote unquote good or bad, it's not meant to last forever. Our minds are constantly evolving. Our perceptions are constantly being added to and taken away. We're learning and unlearning. And that is a beautiful part of this life that we are able to experience. Know that you were put on this earth for a reason. Even if you don't know that reason yet, one day it'll become clear to you, and your only purpose right now in this life is to be present and to soak in every single moment that you can. Soak in any single experience that you can, because you don't know the power that it has to transform you. You don't know the power even in the most mundane experiences that we go through every single day. Even if it's just talking to a cashier at a shop that we go to every single day, or making your breakfast every single morning. There are lessons to be learned in absolutely everything. And once you open your heart and your eyes to be able to receive the lessons from every single thing around you, that is when you are able to grow and expand and evolve into your highest self. So I guess I can just keep yapping forever and ever. So I gotta stop myself at some point. But I really do love you guys so much, and I hope that you are able to find some purpose within your life just based on listening to this podcast every week. Just tuning into the episodes that feel really intuitive to you, that grab your attention. And know that my DMs are always open. So if you guys ever want to chit chat about any topics, if you're struggling with anything, whatever it might be, any comments, questions, or concerns, even if you want to just give me episode ideas and let me know some things that you want to hear more on this podcast. My DMs are always open, and my socials are always plugged in the show notes. as well as some journal prompts for you guys that I specifically create tailored to my episodes. So if you are feeling like maybe that was a lot of information, maybe that was a lot to take in, and you want to practice coming back to yourself, but you're not really sure where to start, finding those journal prompts in the description below, in those show notes below, might really help you spark that fire inside of you and understand what emotions are coming through right now and where they're tied to. That's the main reason why I put those journal prompts in every single episode for you guys, because I want this to be able to feel like a supportive community where you can come back to these episodes and those journal prompts will still be there for you. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave a review or a 5-star rating on this podcast to help me find like-minded people just like you, to help grow this community into something that is full of passion and love and fueled by the eagerness to grow and to evolve into our highest selves. Know that your journey doesn't have to be so individualized sometimes. You can lean on other people. And other people are put into your life to show you these lessons, to amplify the versions of yourself that either need to come to the surface to be more healed, or to amplify the most authentic versions of yourself and to give you reassurance that you are allowed to be your most authentic self. I'm going to stop yapping, but thank you guys so much for listening. I had such a fun time today, and I cannot wait to hop on the mic again and talk to you guys next Monday. As always, come as you are and leave a little more healed.